Incredible 4 words to describe this show, history-based. This isn't just a mystery drama, it's a reality show on the road to women's rights. Happy New Year! Im Shusen just had a birthday. Our story starts in 1971 Mexico City. Ready? On a rainy midnight, a woman hops into 2 red and white cars, cruising with the driver to a cozy little motel. A few hours later, the motel maid spots a door wide open, thinking, wow, not again. She walks in, and surprised, it's the 4th victim again. The media gave the killer a super cool title, The Stripping Slayer, and now every woman in town was too scared to step outside. Things just escalated. The First Lady saw a golden opportunity and suggested forming a women's police squad to redirect public attention. Suddenly, headlines back then, women's duty was to support husbands, care for in-laws. Mary was the poster girl for housewives. Today is her hubby Uncle Des' birthday, and Mary is ready to surprise him big time. But surprise, there's a bigger surprise waiting for her. Mary felt like she'd been hit by lightning. Hubby might be cheating. She wants to ask him about it, but is worried the kids might lose their dad. In the end, she stayed in the closet for 3 whole hours until her husband left, and then she made a silent escape from the office. An hour passed, and Mary managed to gather her composure before rushing into the restaurant where her husband was having a gathering, only to realize that all that had just happened was merely her illusion. Even with 10 guts, Mary wouldn't dare be so bold. Everyone discusses the female police plan. The guys thought this was pure fantasy, women as police. That's as funny as men trying to cook. Uncle De casually mentioned that Mary loved detective novels since childhood and dreamed of becoming a detective, and it sent everyone into a chuckle. Compared to graceful Mary, her sister Sayonara was a whole different vibe, 24 and still single, raising all kinds of ruckus on the streets. After getting caught at the protest, she called up her ex, Cocker, to bail her out, only to find out he's got a new girlfriend. She told Nono to stop pestering him, and Nono had no choice but to call Sister Mary. After leaving the precinct, they headed straight to a bar. Nono wanted to sign up for the female cop selection. She wanted to impress Cocker, who looked down on her. But Mary was too upset and spilled the beans about her husband's cheating, leaving Nono gasping in shock. Nono slammed her fist on the table, saying someone needs to confront him. But Mary stayed silent. She still loved Uncle Da. Mary, picture this, how crazy a day in your life could be. Right outside a strip club, the president's secretary was looking for the bouncer, Old Leo. This curly-haired dude has been on the force for 18 years, personally sending 132 criminals to jail. Recently, he was dismissed for hitting the deputy chief. The secretary seeks an instructor for the female cop program. But no one at the precinct wanted the gig, so she promised Old Leo that if he agreed to be the instructor, he could return to the force to talk about a deal. Uncle De packed his bags for a business trip, and Mary knew he was off to see the side chick. Instead of calling him out, she begged him to stay. But Uncle De was adamant about leaving, and that finally pushed Mary over the edge. In a rage, she signed up for the female police selection, and Old Leo took charge of training. Facing this bunch of first-timers, her opening line was, "Are you all ready?" In Mexico, being a cop is just as wild as dealing drugs in the East. Our crime rate is soaring, so you can still run while you can. Hearing this, some of the timid girls immediately backed out. Once the crowd calmed down, Old Leo whistled loudly. The rest were told training starts tomorrow, and Mary rolled her suitcase into the dorm. Her roommate is a socially anxious glasses girl named Reyes, and her reason for coming here. Her gas stove broke down. How's that for a reason? She came because of lack of income. Across from Nono sleeps a curly-haired girl who snuck in under her strict family radar. Sayo Guy hails from a cop family. Her dad is a chief, and all 3 brothers work at the precinct. She dreams of following suit. But let's face it, there's never been a female cop, and adding to her woes is her old-fashioned dad's expectation. If he knew she'd signed up, he might beat her up. But Sayo Guy still came early next morning. A 3-month intensive training program kicked off, where trainees had to pass multiple tests each with its own passing grade. People were getting cut left and right. Just when everyone was gritting their teeth to push through, the stripping slayer struck again. This time it's the 5th victim, and the killer left no trace behind. Uncle De hurried home on hearing the news, unaware his wife had left. Meanwhile, in training, Sayo Guy was dragged out by her big brother, who happens to be the current head of the homicide unit, tasked with cracking the. He warned her that if the dad found out, she might as well kiss her home goodbye. But Sayo Guy stood her ground. She was determined to be a cop, despite family drama. Meanwhile, Mary received a call from Mom, who was on a peacekeeping mission. She's asked Uncle De, it's just normal socializing, no big deal. Guys need some excitement occasionally. As long as he's okay with it and making money, no reason to take a swing at you, right? Sounds like a pretty good deal. Mary hung up in a rage, but deep down, she was feeling quiet and settled. Mary faced her final exam skydiving. Watching her teammates jump out of the plane one by one, she just sat in her chair like a statue.